Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Odds on Ligue 1. We are here to analyze Matchday 11 with our French football expert, Alain Valnegri. How are you, Alain?
Hello. Yes, really well.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Of course, guys, I am not Edu, but you still get all tips and predictions for all games this weekend in Ligue 1. By the end of the show, we'll also get the Oddspedia combo, which is Alain's safe bet for this round of fixtures, and also his ACCA. Just before we start, a reminder for you guys to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for all the latest uploads. And don't forget also to watch and to give some love to the Betting Academy videos in our channel, because believe me, they're a great learning tool. But now, let's get on with the show. Okay, Alan, our first predictions go for Strasbourg at home against Lille. We can say that finally Lille managed to take revenge with Lens, because last season they were beaten home and away by their northern rivals, as well as getting dumped out of the Coupe de France by them in the last 32. But on Sunday, they finally got a win with Jonathan David's penalty, his seventh goal of the season for the Lille striker. On the other hand, Strasbourg, which haven't beaten Lille since December 2018, got also their first win of the season finally against Angers. Alan, Lille are up to seventh with that win, 4 points behind Monaco, who occupies the fifth and final European spot. And the team is looking that they're beginning to take shape under Paulo Fonseca. The bookies have Lille as favorite with an interesting 2.68 for a win. Will you trust them now against Strasbourg away?
Strasbourg with the winning in Angers, probably their start the season late, but I think is in the right way. When they play at home is a strong team. Now Lille arrive in Alsace with confidence, because winning the derby changed the mind, especially in the North derby is one of the hottest derby in France. It's difficult to choose a team who will win this game. I prefer to choose both teams score. Odds 1.83, considering Lille is a team score and receive goal, and Strasbourg is in this way. If we check the last game.
We're saying also hello to Kelvin all the way from Tanzania. Thank you guys for checking there on our live video. So this is the first fixture we are analyzing: Strasbourg at home against Lille. So they are both playing at the back of a win last weekend. The next one, Alan, the one we have is Lorient at home against Reims. We have actually in this fixture Lorient Reims. Maybe let's see if you agree, but one of the stories in European football this season, because Lorient second in Ligue 1, only 1 point behind PSG, and Lorient last weekend came from behind to beat Brest 2-1 in the Breton derby, with the 23 years old Nigerian Terem Moffi scoring a brace. And Alain, what a turnaround for Lorient this season. The Brest win was their eighth victory. 8 victories in 10 games. They have already achieved the tally of last season, when they won 8 games, but in 38 matches. Of course, we cannot underestimate at all a team like Reims that managed to hold PSG at home last weekend. But the reality is that they're only sitting 1 point above relegation zone as we speak. So 2.35 for a home win. It looks quite attractive. Also, Lorient, first team to score at 1.83. Sounds good. What is your take on this one?
Yes, Lorient is in my opinion, with Udinese in Italy, probably the biggest surprise in the top five European football league. Now, until when is the question? Lorient can be surprised at this level. The odds for the Lorient winning at home is really high, considering the moment, considering the moment of Reims. But I think Reims have more play than point, because they have some problem with the red card, for example. But in the content during the game, is a team can compete with every team in Ligue. We saw that against Paris Saint-Germain the last weekend. Now Lorient, when do you have this type of moment? When do you play with that type of enthusiasm? I think you must to follow with that mind. The shape of play is a really offensive football. Is a team with a strong mentality, because in the derby against Brest there was losing 1-0, and there be able to draw, and after winning the game and conserve the results. Now Reims, I saw Reims scoring in La Route de Lorient, is a really interesting duel between Mofi and Balogun. But I think Lorient doesn't lose that game. I choose one, draw, no bet, odds 1.64.
Perfect. So that is the tip. Lorient draw, no bet, as you can see there on screen, at 1.64. From there, we're moving on to the next one, which is Lens at home with Montpellier. We mentioned, Alain, before Lens defeat with Lille. That was Lens' first Ligue 1 defeat in 18 matches, an incredible run which stretched back to April. They remain fourth in the table and will face a Montpellier side that also lost on the weekend. In their case, it was 2-0 at home against Monaco, and they are 10th in the table, Montpellier. Last season, Lens managed the match comfortably with a 2-0 win. But Alain, seeing that only PSG scored more than Montpellier's 21 goals, would you have a go on both teams to score with odds of 1.87 on this one?
Yes, but Lens is strong in defensive phase, especially at home. Now the derby, if Sotoka scored the penalty with the 0-0 in the score, probably the game will be finished with a different results. Now there must have a reaction, because losing a North derby is always difficult for the team losing. Lens at home is really strong. I think Montpellier have a lot of problem in defensive phase, especially they received a lot of goals. They suffer physically team and aggressive team like Lens. I think Lens will be winning that game. Odds 1.44 for Lens winning Saturday night.
So that's the tip there from Alain. Lens to win at good 1 point, maybe a little bit low so far for the bookies, but yes, I will agree. I will also go for a Lens win at 1.48. We still let me read some messages. We have Abedi, who says we don't bet against Lorient these days. Also, Abedi saying that the sending off, yes, in Rams games is always a safe bet. So now from Lens Montpellier, we can move on to our next stop, which is Toulouse at home against Angers. Toulouse, Alain saved a point against Lyon, and Angers lost at home with Strasbourg. we may probably see the Brazilian Ratao starting for Toulouse this weekend, because he came on the 58th minute against Lyon and not only look very lively in attack, but from his first touch, but he also scored the equalizer. Bookies does not seem to have many doubts here, with Toulouse on 1.96 for a win, which is actually pretty good. Will you put little money on a draw here, Alan, as we can see on 4.2? What's your take?
It's really difficult. I think
Really?
Angers
Okay.
is the team now with the biggest problem in Ligue 1. This week we know three manager lose his job in Brest, in Auxerre, and in Lyon, and
Yeah.
probably the next will be the Angers manager because Baticle have a lot of problems. The idea of how they wanna play is clear, but they concede so much. The game against Strasbourg, I think, was an opportunity to start the season, and they lose a sensible game, a really sensible game. And that one don't give me the input to have to be confident for the capacity of Angers to check a positive results in Toulouse. Toulouse is in a very good way. Toulouse is one of the places in France when we feel positivity with the fans. The relationship team fans are really positive. There are a lot of enthusiasm. There had some player out for injury that doesn't change the average of point about the team. In my opinion, the odds for Toulouse winning is high, really high, because the difference between both teams are highest.
Also big.
And I choose Toulouse winning odds 1.96.
So that's the take on Toulouse Angers, and I pretty much agree. Good odds for a Toulouse win and 1.96. Alan, now we have Auxerre at home with Nice. That piece of information we know. What we don't know is who's going to be Auxerre manager on Sunday, because Jean-Marc Furlan got himself fired yesterday after he gave Clermont fans the middle finger after the match. They lost 2-1 on the weekend. As you mentioned, is the third coach who's losing his job in Ligue 1 this season so far. But more worrisome than not having a manager for Auxerre is the fact that they have failed to win its past 6 leagues games, and they are only 1 point above relegation places. On the other hand, it's not that Nice are having a picnic, to be honest, because they are only three. They have only 3 more points than Auxerre. But the mood is absolutely different, I believe, after winning on the weekend. So, what's your views in here? Where again the bookies plays Nice as a clear favorite to win this encounter.
But the question is to know if the model of play of Auxerre will be changed, because it's a really academic, poetic model of play, really offensive, based with a high average of possession of ball. But when do you wanna play in that way? You must know to defend, especially in open play. And Auxerre show a lot of limit in this phase of play. Now, Nice was in crisis 10 days ago. Now, the feeling is better. I think Favre start to found the way of play, the identity, and his 11 team start. And that one is important. I think Nice in transition is a team with a lot of potential. Pepe, Delors, Laborde, Diop, the talent. They have a lot of talent in this phase of play. Nicolas Pepe is back the player we admire in Lille, and I think for that game Auxerre will be suffer a lot that type of transition against Nice. Nice came with 2 victories in the last 2 games in Europe and after in Ligue 1. It's true, the last 20 minutes against Troyes was not the best in the concentration way, but I think Nice can be winning that game. The odds are high, interesting. Nice winning in Auxerre, odds 2.10.
So does the team needs to win, and because of that amazing talent they have in up front, Nice with Pepe, hopefully coming back to his best, as we have seen in Lille, not so much in Arsenal, but we know the talent he has. Can you see like goals over 2.5 on that game? Actually, there is a parity on goals over 2.5 and goals under 2.5, both very close to 2. But would you expect goals in this
Yes,
one? Yeah.
is an option. Is an option. My doubt is what will be the identity in defensive phase with the position about the block of Nice. We saw that in against Slovakia in Conference League, when we saw a team more conservative than the Ligue 1, but able to defend with a middle block. And I think Favre will be choose that type of plan game for that game in Auxerre, because they need absolutely winning a game and start to be a positive streak if they wanna be back to the high position in classification.
Thanks for the messages, guys. And Kurt saying Alan is the best. A very nice needs to win is nice. Playing as well there with the words. And now we move on to Nantes Brest. Alan, a classic relegation 6-pointer. This top second from bottom. Nantes playing at home to the bottom of the table, as is the case in Brest. Brest announced yesterday that they were parting company with Zakarian after the club have won just 1 out of the 10 games this season so far. They are in a 7-match winless run since a 7-0 home defeat against Montpellier back in August. Nantes have also a weekend to forget after losing 3-0 in the Breton Derby with Reims. Bookies, yes, they place Nantes as favorite with a 2.3 for a win. Alan, it looks like one of those games where both teams are so in need that they both might shake hands if there was a draw in offer. As it comes, a draw is at 3.55. Will you see these teams like feeling comfortably with sharing points, or you see as the bookies Nantes taking the edge on Brest?
But not have a classical limit about the team play in Europe without the roster to play in Europe, and play every 3 days. They pay that, because if we saw the game about not in the content, the team play well, but they suffer a lot away. They are the poorest team away. Average to goal conceded is 2 goals per game when they play away, and that one is so difficult to winning the game. Now, Brest have a lot of problem. Inside of the board. In the field, we saw a team without that solidity in defensive phase that had the last season, and that can save the category really soon in the season. Now for that game, I think Nantes will have a reaction. They'll play two game at home in Europe, and after Sunday in the derby. I choose the security for this game over 1.75 games goal for odds 1.42.
So goals over 1.75, low odds, but it could come as a safe bet, let's say, as well. This one. So Alan, from this fixture, we can now go on to Reims against Olympique de Lyon. Uh, I believe that if this match would have been played 5 or 6 match days earlier, the bookies would have backed up Lyon as favorite uh, instead of Reims, because Lyon started the campaign actually collecting 13 points from a possible 15, and they started to fuel hopes of a return to the Champions League. But then that was followed by a 4-match losing streak before last Friday's an impressive 1-1 draw at home against Toulouse, which at least stopped the bleeding, but was not enough to save Peter Bosch's job. He's now replaced with Laurent Blanc. For Rennes, has been a good first chunk of the season. They are just 2 points behind European places. Would you trust the new manager effect for Lyon, as is the case, to be honest, in every league? In the Bundesliga last weekend, Xabi Alonso, first match, turned the tables with Leverkusen and won his first game 4-0 when Leverkusen was suffering so far in the season. Can you see something similar with Laurent Blanc and Lyon in this game? An Asian handicap 0 for Lyon has odds of 2.25, which is also good odds. What's your view, Alan?
But Lyon is the worst team away in the Ligue with Nantes. They have a lot of problem with Peter Bosch last season. This season they reproduce the same mistake, the same limit. Is a special game for Bruno Genesio, the manager of Rennes. He was player, he was trainer about the academy, he was manager of the first team, and when he meet Lyon is always a special game for him. Rennes is in a very, very good moment. We saw a team with an offensive power really interesting. They had some player out for injury, but the team give an answer, a clear answer. The winning against Nantes is always important because it's a derby. Who the fans feel with a lot of intensity. Now, if we check the moment about both teams, the model of play about both teams, the history about the duel about with Genesio and Blanc, with Genesio receive Laurent Blanc, we can't try the victory of Rennes at home. The odds are really high because the difference between both teams are highest in this moment. I choose the Rennes winning, odds 2.40 for Breton team winning Sunday.
Actually, good odds there for Rennes. And Corello is saying on our live chat, obvious Rennes wins. Lyon, as you mentioned, Alan, terrible away. So from there, we have now the next one, which is Troyes at home against Ajaccio. In this fixture, we have one of the teams that provided the shocker last weekend because Ajaccio managed to get their second win since returning to the top flight, and they've done it in the Velodrome against Olympique Marseille. For Ajaccio, the second win this campaign, both came away from home. So going into the weekend, that may be seen as something positive for them. Troyes will play at the back of a defeat, and they have won only one of the last 5 matches. Taking that into account, are you surprised that Ajaccio, although it was a shocker, as I said, winning against in Velodrome against Olympique Marseille, that the tips or that the bookies are placing Troyes with the big gap odds against Ajaccio in this one?
Well, Ajaccio surprised
Yeah.
everybody the last week, and now the game is really important. Important. It's really sensible for Ajaccio, because in case of winning, there will be go to 10 points and only 1 point to Troyes. Troyes is really difficult to predict the Troyes game, because they're really inconstant. They'll be able to winning in Clermont. They'll be able to lose against weakest team. Ajaccio, with the game in Marseille, with this winning, I think there will be arrived with a lot of powder for that game. They're known. They can't lose that game. Is a key game for Ajaccio. That one, especially when they play away in history, they suffer a lot, but they must to check to check point in Troyes. Another game with security. I choose the over 1.75 goals. Odds 1.42.
Good, and I like that you mentioned security, because I was reading some of the comments, and of course, I can imagine this: Ajaccio beating Marseille spoiled. Someone says my ACCA, and I guess it happened to many people with that win in the Velodrome for Ajaccio. But for this fixture of Ajaccio, Troyes goals over 1.75 is Alain's prediction. From there, we have. The one before the last one is Monaco at home against Clermont. The Principality team, Alain, is one of the teams in form right now in Ligue, with their 0-2 win away at Montpellier. They registered their fifth consecutive win in this campaign, and 7 wins in the last 8 games in all competitions. For a team like Clermont, which is 4 points behind Monaco, the massive gap in the odds for a win might come as a surprise for some. Not the favoritism, but the gap. I mean, because it's, as we can see there, 1.37 for a Monaco win, and 11.38 for an away shocker. Last season, Monaco won both fixtures, 3-1 away and 4-0 at home. Having that into account, goals over 2.5 is at 1.65. To find odds closer to 2, we must go to goals over 3, which is hovering odds of 2. Will you look at this, Alain? What's your take on this Monaco Clermont?
Monaco is the most brilliant team in Ligue 1 right now with Rennes. The form is excellent. They have a lot of problem at the beginning of the season. They'll be able to correct that. Clermont found an identity, find a 11th start, and they are in a very good moment. Now Clermont is different between last season, because they learn about his mistake. He's a team a little more conservative. They must to manage better some phase of the game, and not always will be attack and will be have the possession of the ball. They'll be more comfortable when they must to defend without the possession. But now Monaco is really difficult to play against Monaco in this moment. I think Monaco will be winning that game. Odds 1.37, but the people who like the risk can be try the double opportunity, because the odds are really high. The X2 for Clermont doesn't losing in Monaco Sunday, but is a big risk, because especially for the moment of Monaco.
Yeah, the double chance for Clermont is at 3.4 on Oddspedia website. And Alan, now we have the last one, and of course the biggest match of this match day 11 in Ligue 1. is the match. It's a derby. We have PSG at home against Olympique Marseille. What a shame, Alain, that Olympique lost with Ajaccio, because we would have had both teams at the top of the table going into this match. PSG drew last night with Benfica, and again, they were underperforming. Messi saw everything from the stands, and we still don't know if he's going to play on Sunday. Yesterday, we also have another chapter of Mbappe's soap opera. Marseille is playing tonight, as we talk, in the Champions League. But do you think that with all this going on, Marseille have this time a realistic chance to take something from Paris? A double chance for Marseille comes with high odds of 3.4. But can you see them inflicting pain on Paris Saint-Germain?
I think it's the best moment to play against Paris Saint-Germain, because last game in Ligue 1 0-0 in Reims. Yesterday, draw against Benfica is a double draw. Is the worst streak about PSG this season. They start with offensive powder who scare a lot of people. Now the team are going slowly, and that one, I think, for Marseille is a big chance to catch a positive results. The Classic is always difficult to predict who will be winning the game. I think Olympique Marseille, we saw different image about the team this season, because in Ligue 1 we saw a very good version. In Champions it was really bad, and when they catch a victory in Champions, they're losing in Ligue 1. Where is the true image about Olympique Marseille? For that game I choose both teams score, because I think Marseille be able to score in Paris. Odds interesting, 1.75 for the Classic Sunday night.
So both teams to score. And Alan, sorry if I cut you off guard, but just to ask you one of the things they are like sharing that on our live chat. Someone is getting onto PSG in discipline with something that you will look at the bookings on this PSG Olympique the Marseille game, because it's a derby and it tends to get very heated. You have players with a lot of personality. No one would like to lose a derby. So will you be looking at the bookings market? Yellow card.
Is always game really a lot of intensity. Yes, and
Yeah.
when we saw the average about the red card in Ligue 1 this season, yes, is a possibility. Is maybe we can try that. We can try that because the team, the game always. If you check in YouTube the past games about PSG and Marseille, and we saw the foul, not for the goal or for the result, for the foul, you will be really surprised about the grade of aggressivity about this game, and probably Sunday will behave that type of aggressivity.
Okay, guys. So that was all the 10 matches for this match day 11 in Ligue 1. Before we go, Alan, tell us please the Oddspedia combo. What is your safe bet followed by your ACCA for this match day 11 in Ligue 1?
My safe bet is Toulouse Angers over 1.75, odds 1.31.
Perfect. That's the safe bet then. And what about your ACCA? Let's see. We're going to cross fingers for that.
My ACCA, Lens Montpellier 1, Toulouse Angers 1, Nantes Brest over 1.75, and 3 Ajaccio over 1.75. Total 6.
Perfect. So everyone, I guess, is taking note of that. a total ACCA of 6 from Alain for this match day 11 in Ligue. Alain, was a pleasure. Thanks for all the insight, amazing insight.
Thank you, Leo. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. And you guys, as always, please do not forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification buttons for all our shows. And also do not forget to give some love to the Betting Academy videos, because again and again, I will always repeat, they're an amazing learning tool. Bye-bye. See you next time.
Ciao.